What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Your Ex Drinking Buddy with me, your host, Brennan Tassif. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe. Check us out on YouTube. Full video available there. Check out the merch store. Look at all this stuff. We got all this stuff on the merch store. It's all available on the website, BrennanTComedy.com. You can also get my tour dates there. Every show that I have coming up, I'm going to be in New York, traveling the country, doing a bunch of gigs. So check it out. Get tickets at BrennanTComedy.com. Check out the merch store. And lastly, if you really want to support, go to www.patreon.com/BrennanTComedy. And that is where you can find Tales from the Restaurant, where I divulge everything about the celebrities I wait on. And also a little bit of behind the scenes. You'll also get the episodes early, a bunch of bonus episodes. Check it all out. Thank you so much. Enjoy the episode.
Grab me a beer and grab him a coke. We bout to sit for an hour, bullshit and tell jokes. And please don't mix it up, cause he done sobered up. Brennan T Comedy on your social media feeds. And Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Your Ex Drinking Buddy. I'm your host, Brennan Tassif. If you're new to the program, quick rundown of the show. I used to be everyone's favorite drinking buddy. It was my favorite thing to do, hang out with friends, get drunk, do drugs, get in all sorts of trouble, and then reminisce about those crazy stories. I am sober now, but it's still one of my favorite things to do, hang out with somebody and reminisce about the crazy old days. Most weeks I'll be joined by a guest. This week is no exception. All the way from New York City, Jack Barth. What's up, dude?
Not much, man. How are you?
Before we get too far into anything, plug everything up front. Social media, where people can find you, all the things.
Okay. My name's Jack Barth, and my Instagram is Joke Barth. Also, I have a Substack.
Okay.
It's called Joke Barth Publishing Company. I have 6 subscribers. You could be number 7.
You could be number 7. Everything will be linked in the show notes. Thank you so much for coming out, man. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it was a great podcast, man. That was awesome.
So let's talk about it. We met going to a show. Upstate New York, which was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. We became fast friends. We almost got beat up by a guy on a motorcycle.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
you almost got beat up.
I almost got beat up.
You were right next to his fist.
Yeah, he, I don't know. I guess something happened, and then he was he took umbrage and wanted us to know. And we're just driving. There's 4 of us in a car. We're just driving.
Yep.
And then he got in front of us and slowed way down. And I was like, what happened? You're like, I don't know. I didn't even see this guy.
Yeah.
And then Craig and Jack are just in the back talking. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what are we doing? He stopped right in front of you on the highway.
Yeah. I think he needs to do the 12 steps.
Yeah, he might need something.
Some anger.
He's got some serious anger.
Yeah.
And then he got out and he had those Kevlar gloves that you use for riding, for those of you listening.
Yeah.
And then he banged on the window with it. And I just remember thinking, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm the one with the criminal record in the car. I'm the big brooder.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to get out and fight this guy.
The gloves made it so much scarier.
So much scarier.
If it was just his hand, I'm like, oh, he's going to hurt his hand.
Yeah.
And like, nothing.
But he had the Kevlar gloves on. And then you just were like, I'm just going to go around him. And then we just went around him.
Yeah. He didn't park his bike far enough in front of me. Like, so it stopped me. We just drove.
Yeah, we just kept driving.
Yeah.
I was like, you're going to have to hit the bike. Who fucking cares?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our first hangout. Was that?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty exciting first hangout.
Yeah. Before we get too far down the rabbit hole on anything, I want to ask you a couple questions. This is what I ask all my guests. 2 big questions. One, where did you grow up?
Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah, the AZ, baby.
AZ.
And this is something I love to know about people on this show, because comedy is a very niche thing. It's not a huge thing, even though it's very big now. There's still a lot of people you talk to and they go, oh, I love comedy. You go, oh, who's your favorite comic? They go, Dave Chappelle. And you're like, you obviously don't love comedy. You're naming the biggest comic in the world. Mm-hmm. How did you find stand-up?
I think I came across Bill Burr on YouTube when I was in high school. And then I'd watch it with my dad. And I liked the fact that me showing it to him made him laugh.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it pretty much started where I would try to get my dad to laugh by showing him different YouTube videos.
Okay. Yeah, because you're younger than me. How old are you, 25?
I'm 27.
27. So, so you would have had the social media and the YouTubes and all that stuff when you were in high school.
Yeah, I didn't have Instagram, or I think maybe I had a Facebook, but I didn't really use it. But I was on YouTube constantly.
And then when you found stand-up, were you like, oh, this is something I want to try? Or were you like, oh, this is just really cool and it makes me laugh?
I think I knew I wanted to try it.
Okay.
Yeah, but when I was in high school, senior year, I saw this other kid from my high school try it, and we all came to the show.
Okay, take us through this, because I love little details, and this just sounds like something, because I would have never even thought. I loved stand-up when I was in high school, but I just would watch it on Comedy Central Presents. I recorded it on VHS. I'd watch them over and over, but I never had the inkling of like, oh, that's something I want to do or could do or anything like that. So what happens in high school to where a friend of yours or someone you guys all knew was like, hey, I'm doing stand-up?
Yeah. Well, I guess I didn't even know that you could. That's how it works, that you can just go to an open mic and do it. And then we all came to his show. And honestly,
did he invite you, or did you guys just show up?
He invited us.
Okay.
Yeah. He invited like everyone from the school.
It's a bringer.
Basically. Yeah, he's a bringer. It might have been, honestly. I think that's why they gave him such a good spot.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And I didn't know what bringers were or open mics were at the time. So, I was sitting there. I mean, he didn't even do like badly for his first time or whatever, you know. Honestly, I don't. Maybe he just did better because we were all there and we knew him. But I was sitting there and I was like, I want to be up there. I want to do that.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
So what happened? Did you?
So then I went to college.
Where'd you go to college?
University of Washington in Seattle.
Go Huskies.
Go Huskies. I went to like 3 games freshman year and then I never went again.
No, really?
Because I don't watch sports. But nothing against it. I liked getting drunk in the parking lot.
100%.
And then I realized, that's the only thing I liked, and then not the football. And hence why I'm on this podcast now. And then there was like a group of students on campus, like a club, not like a comedy club, but like, like a club as in a group of 8 people who liked stand-up, and then they formed like a club on campus.
So it wasn't a comedy club, but it was formed under the guise of we all like stand-up.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It was just a group of people, like how they have like a cricket club or like a fucking ultimate frisbee team. There was a comedy club, a group of people who liked stand-up, and we would all like meet in the room, like the basement room of like the econ building or something, like once a week. And we would do this thing where we didn't even know like what open mics were really, at least for the first year we were in the club. Like I joined freshman year as the second year the club had ever been running. Yeah. And we did this thing called Joke Share. Okay. Which is literally just a mic, but it was like a mic for your friends basically. And then that would used to terrify me. Like I would get so nervous to talk to 5 of my friends.
Are you on stage with a microphone, or obviously you're not? There's no stage. You're in a basement room. But are you like sitting in a circle, like just shooting jokes, bits back and forth? Or are you like actually in front of everybody doing it?
One person stands in front of the class. Yeah. Like teacher style.
Fucking get up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Show us what you got.
Yeah. And then, I think we did some shows freshman year. I think the first time I performed, I guess, in front of not people in that club was like we had like an open mic, I guess, and that was like a couple months into my freshman year. I was in the basement of the art building, and
just jumping basement to basement.
Yeah, just going basement to basement, and just hitting all the basements in Seattle. This one served coffee, so I decided like I would drink coffee right beforehand.
There you go.
I thought that would stimulate my mind. It just made me so anxious. It was terrible. Absolutely worst idea. I used to get so incredibly fucking nervous. Yeah. It was insane. Yeah. Just like it would ruin my entire day if I knew I had to perform later that day. Yeah. It would ruin my week, honestly. Just like, and then I couldn't even think. I'd get like super tense. Just like basically panic attack. But then I did it, and I can't remember what I used to have a video about it. I find this interesting
because normally someone who has that much of a physical reaction to something would be like, oh, I don't have to do this. I just won't do this. But what do you think do you think that's from seeing the kid in high school and you thinking to yourself, I want to be on stage? So just in your head, you're like, well, I know I feel like shit and I'm anxious and I'm nervous, but I want to be the guy on stage, so I'm doing it anyway? Or are you just a psychopath?
Probably both. Yeah. Probably a psycho, like self-emulation, emulation, pain. Yeah. And I think I probably thought I could be good at it if I just keep trying to do it. So, that was probably.
So after the first show, how many more times until that you got more comfortable?
Oh,
the whole time?
4 years.
Yeah, like the whole college experience.
The whole college experience, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I think I didn't perform that much in college though. Like I I think I performed maybe 5 or 6 times freshman year.
Yeah.
One of which, though, was during, you know what a Relay for Life is?
That sounds familiar. Is that like one of the cancer runs or something?
Yeah. They do it at like a track.
Yeah.
So they had one in Husky Stadium in my freshman year, and there was maybe like a total of 25 people in the stadium. Not 25 people watching the show. 25 people in the stadium total. Like, they're at booths and shit.
Yeah.
There's like a group of 4 teenagers like running laps, and then they got me and my friends at this stage in the middle, and there's like 2 moms like 50 yards away from us.
Dude, that's
in the middle of Husky Field.
And that's a big stadium.
It's a big stadium.
That's a lot of echoing. Just like talking to. Are you on the actual PA system, or are you just on your own mic? Like, are you wired?
I
into
wasn't
the
at the
stadium?
Husky Stadium PA system. It was like maybe they had
That'd
a
be
couple
so
speakers.
cool if you were like, "Hello, hello, hello,
Yeah.
hello,
Well,
my name."
It was crazy because you could hear an echo.
Yeah.
It was so empty. Like, you'd talk, and then it would bounce back at you, and then some teenagers behind you would like fake laugh as they're doing a drive-by around you.
How'd you do with the moms? Crush? They
moms,
loved you?
One of them liked me, yeah.
So,
said I had a good set.
It's
so.
funny you say that. I remember one time when I was living in Oklahoma City for like 3 months. I was staying with my cousin, and they had like this big wine and beer and liquor festival in the parking lot of a Hooters. But it's in the Midwest, so it's a giant parking lot, and it's like a strip mall on one side and then a standalone Hooters on the other side. And they use this huge parking lot to do like this tasting festival, and there's thousands of people there. And vendors all over the place, and you just walk around with your wristband, and then you just get like little samples of all different kinds of liquors and beers and wines. And I remember my cousin, who was the one who got me into stand-up, was doing comedy in Oklahoma City on the side while he was doing Teach for America there. He's like, hey, he's there with other OKC comics, shout out Matt Rainey, and they were like, let's see if they'll let us, because there's like a DJ who has a mic, and they're like, let's see if he'll let us do stand-up. And we were in our 20s, so it's like, we're still like, boy, oh boy, anytime there's a mic and a stage and people, we're doing stand-up.
Yeah.
And we asked, and the guy was like, fucking yeah, of course.
Wow,
you guys are
he's into
local
it?
comics? Yeah, let's do it. Dude, I bombed for no one.
There was no one there?
No, there's thousands of people there.
Oh.
But you know what? When people are like, you can be alone in a room surrounded by people.
Yeah.
I bombed by myself, but in front of thousands of people. Because it's like a big event. So people aren't listening. Like, no one's even listening to the DJ.
Were they all meant to look at you, or they were just kind of wandering around?
That's what I'm saying, is like the DJ booth was just in a booth, ground level, next to all these other booths that had like liquors and wines and beers, and there was a couple of food trucks in the back.
That's maybe the worst setup.
It was the worst setup, because then we were just in the booth, and the DJ is standing behind his setup, would just hand each one of us a microphone.
Yeah.
And then you'd go behind the DJ setup and be like, so anyway, how you guys doing today? And no one's listening. Everyone's just walking by. A couple people would stop and be like, the fuck is, what? What are they talking about?
Yeah.
And so I understand that that feeling of being like, I'm in this really big setting, but nobody's listening to me.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and there's no way to fill it, you know?
Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I remember I did like 3 jokes, and I just made fun of Tim Tebow because I had played against him in college.
Nice.
And obviously we were in Oklahoma City, which is close to, the University of Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. So I just made fun of Tim Tebow and his jorts for like 45 seconds, got a chuckle from one guy drinking a beer, and I was like, all right, thank you guys. That's my time. I'm out of here. How long did you do in the stadium show?
Must have been like 3 to 5 minutes.
God,
something like that.
Long 3 to 5, huh?
Yeah, brutal. With every thought I've ever had.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So after that, because I'm curious, because you live in New York now, like we were just up doing a show in upstate New York. We're doing 20 minutes. You got a lot of material. You're a very funny person.
Thanks, man.
How do you go from that situation to where you are now, as far as comedy?
I think you just like you don't want to do anything else in life, so you just do comedy as an escape from the other responsibilities or things you should be working on as a person. And then you get so like kind of decent and maybe sometimes okay at this one skill and you've atrophied everything else in your life. And now you're no longer able to do that, like talk to women or like
go on a job interview,
desire a job, or like think about the future. So you just keep compulsively doing open mics, and I guess that's healthier than drinking. So,
well, when did you find open mics? Because at this point, you're a freshman in college. You still weren't really doing open mics.
Yeah, I hadn't left the college campus yet.
So when did you start doing that? venturing out?
Sophomore year.
Okay, so it took a year, and then you were like,
yeah.
hey, let's go find some stuff.
Well, there was a guy who was like a senior or a junior in the club, and he had been like actually doing open mics and stuff.
Oh, okay.
He's still a comic in Seattle. Shout out Paul Curry.
Shout out Paul Curry.
Great.
Was he like the mentor to all the other younger kids?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, we would get made fun of because he would like lead us all into the open mic, and then like all these like actual adults who are at the open mic are like, oh, the field trip's here, because we were all wearing backpacks and stuff.
I got it right. I knew my notebook.
Yeah. Oh, the rich kids are here from the college.
Well,
Great.
it isn't. I mean, sometimes it happens by accident, because I'm normally one of the older guys at a mic. Because I still go to mics, because it's the best way. Like, if I'm not going to work on new material at the stand. Like, you're out of your fucking mind. I'm hanging on by a thread on this website as a comedian.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like, I'm just going to do the bangers that I have that I know should work, and most of the time do work. So I should go to mics, because it's like, Jared Waters, I don't know if you know Jared, but very funny comic, Florida guy, love him. And he was like, when I first moved to New York, I did mics until I didn't have time, literally did not have time to do mics anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you just keep going. You just keep doing it. And so I still do mics, but it's weird because I'm 37. And like, I know some bigger comics, and I do feature for a buddy of mine, and I do tour and stuff like that. So it is weird because some of the young, like 21, 22-year-olds look up to me like I'm doing something.
Yeah.
And they'll be
That's so
like,
funny.
yeah, and they'll come to me for advice, and I'm like, we're at the same mic, dude.
Yeah,
Like, I don't
yeah.
fucking know.
I've had people who like just started out do that to me too.
Oh, yeah?
Just because I've been going to Black Hat for 4 years.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, I'm a regular there, kind of.
They come up to you. Like,
Kind of a
Jack,
Black Hat
Jack,
veteran. Yeah.
What do I do?
The
Well,
9 p.m. Thursday mic.
listen here. What you got to do is you got to focus. You got to connect
Give
with the
Sonya
crowd.
$6, and you know,
Connect. It's all about
you riff
connection.
about the room. You talk about how much you don't want to be there.
Even though you're there every Thursday for 4
You're
years.
there every Thursday. You were there near Christmas time. And then you do a joke that you thought was funny. It gets nothing, and then you go home.
Yeah, that's it. It is an interesting thing because once you start, because people, I've had the whole gambit of people on the show, whether they became, they blew up doing TikTok or Instagram, or they, were doing open mics, or they started an improv and then switched. It is funny though, because a lot of people, obviously, if you have no introduction to comedy whatsoever, your first thought is, oh, let's do a comedy class. Like, I'll do a comedy class.
I did that.
Yeah. And that's a very intelligent way to kind of look at it. Like, oh, I've never done this, or I've been doing this a little while. Let's go here and meet other like-minded people. But I tell people all the time, I'm always like, well, if you're in a big enough city, just start going to open mics.
Yeah.
Like, just because you'll figure it out that way too. And at least you're not losing $500.
Yeah. Don't go to a class, I don't think.
What happened? When did you go to a class?
I went to a class when I moved here, actually.
Okay, so when did you move here?
We're fast forwarding a bit. So I was sophomore year of college. I was starting to go to mics, and then halfway through my junior year, COVID happened.
Okay.
So I wasn't doing that much comedy anywhere because school got really hard. And then
What'd you go to school for?
Engineering.
Yeah, you did.
The mechanical engineering.
Fucking
And I don't
slut.
use it at all. I never used it. Really good. Spent my parents' money well. And
You're a smart guy.
smart guy. Spent my parents' money.
Well, no, I meant
Not
because of
my
the
money.
mechanical engineer.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's
I could build the bridge, but I'd rather not.
yeah. I could if I wanted to.
I have the degree to prove it.
Yeah, exactly. No, COVID school was like so easy. It was. Anyway, I don't want to get ruined for academic misconduct, but anyway, COVID happened. Couldn't do any open mics. Then I graduated. This is the summer of 2021. Started going to like as many mics as I could in Seattle for like 2 months, and then I moved here because I got a job here, and then I just started like obsessively going to open. I went to like 3 or 4 a day for like a year.
Okay. Did you find a job in New York because of comedy, or did you happen
No.
to get a job in New York and now you're like, oh, I'm going to do comedy there?
That one, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I was just trying to. I spent all of COVID in Seattle, and I just wanted to move somewhere else.
Yeah.
And the job I happened to get, I mean, it was pretty sick because I got to come here. Was in New York, so
Yeah.
I moved here, and then I was like so nervous to do an open mic in New York. I was like, New York, come. And then you realize, like, I mean, there's a lot of bad people here. I'm terrible.
One of my friends that was just visiting, shout out Will Blaylock, friend of the show, one of my very good friends from Jacksonville. He's a fucking killer. But he said that he was the same thing. He was like, I came up here and I gave him a whole schedule of the mics and stuff. And he was like, I went to do a mic and I was really nervous about it because, it's New York comedy. And he's like, man, some of these guys suck.
Yeah. I'd say the average of people is much higher, but I mean, if you're just starting out, you're just starting out. Like, I moved here, I sucked. Other people had just moved here, they sucked.
I've been doing comedy a while when I moved here, and I sucked.
Yeah.
Because it's a different animal. Like, in the South, it's more storytelling, like, come on an adventure with me. And then you move to New York, and everyone's like, set up punch, set up punch, set up punch.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
If you don't make me laugh in 10 seconds, I'm bored.
Yeah, and I fucking hate you. And I will let you know by not laughing at anything henceforth.
Exactly.
So, I'm curious because a lot of times people take a pay cut, or they'll take a shitty job, or they'll do all this stuff just to get to New York because of comedy. But for you, it was the opposite. You found a good job and it happened to be in New York, and then you're like, hey, let me do comedy. At any point, I'm curious about this because I have a couple friends who were real big into comedy back in Florida, and then they had then moved because of work to major cities, but then comedy kind of fell off. At any point, was it one of those things where you're like, oh, I need to start focusing more on work, and comedy kind of took a back seat? Or were the whole time, once you got here, you're like, no, it's comedy?
I was pretty much like, I mean, I hated my job, so it was fine for like maybe the first few months because I didn't have to do that much, but it was completely remote. It was a completely remote corporate job.
Okay.
I had to take like a shit ton of meetings and stuff, and I had to learn a lot about what we sold, but I could pretty much clock out right at 5 p.m. And I lived in the East Village, so
God, that's sick.
I just like clocked out 5 p.m., threw my laptop on my bed, ran out, did mics until like midnight or 1, and then came back.
Yeah.
Woke up exactly at 9 a.m., right when I had to clock in, and then take a meeting sometimes like right at 9, and then just like do that till 5, rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was your question again?
No, so I was saying, at any point were you like, oh, I got to work on something for work, so I'll clock out at 5, but I got to do this stuff. I can't go to the mics today because I'm like, at any point, did you pivot from I'm focused so much on comedy to I need to focus more on my job?
No, because I was just like a 22-year-old fucking idiot, who was just getting drunk a lot. So like, I was decent at my job. So like, I don't know. I never really like cared about that much. Where I was like, I was always focused more on comedy. Like that was the goal.
Because the reason I'm asking the question is because again, I've had friends move to major cities because of work. But then before they move, it's always, but you don't understand. I'm going to be able to, I get off at 5 or 5:30. I'll be able to do mics and get on shows and I'm off on the weekends and I'm going to be in Chicago and it's going to be great. And then you talk to him 6 months later and it's like, I got a promotion and now I got to do all these extra projects and I don't really do mics anymore. And it's like, but I thought it was like, boy, oh boy, I'm going to do like what happened? So for you, that wasn't even an issue.
No,
you were a 20-year-old kid who's like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah, exactly. And I was always like an entry level. And then I quit the job after like, I think 11 months. Okay. Because 2 of my like best friends from high school were like, hey, we're gonna go to Europe for like a month or month and a half. Do you want to come? And I was at a British company, so they gave you like hella PTO. They gave you 6 weeks of PTO a year.
Holy shit.
So I was like, oh, sick. I'll take like 4 weeks, go to Europe in a row. What they don't tell you about PTO is they tell you when you can use it.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, can I take all of June off? And they're like, no. And I was like, okay. I hate this job. So then I quit.
That is an interesting thing because I work in the restaurant industry to supplement my income. And it's funny because I have a very fluid schedule. You and I talked about this when we were on the drive, but it's, I only work a couple days a week. If I have to leave for shows, I, put in a request and they're like, yeah, no problem for the most part. But then when we're in our busy season, which is October, November, December, like it's locked down. Like I don't schedule shows in the fourth quarter because I know I can't get out for shows.
Sure, yeah.
So it is a funny thing when you're like, yeah, my job is great 9 months out of the year, but then it's like those last 3 months, unless it was like Tom Segura being like, hey, I need you to open for me, I'd be like, sorry, I can't do it.
Sure, yeah.
But if it was a big enough thing, I'd be like, either I'm quitting or you're giving me this time off. But for the most part, I don't go out of my way to schedule anything. So it is a weird thing where even I'm guilty of it, where it's like, yeah, I can take off whatever days I want except for this chunk of time. And
Yeah.
I haven't gotten the balls yet to be like, well, you know what? Fuck it. I quit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't even quit for like really that like good of a reason, you know?
Go to Europe. That's a great reason.
Yeah, just to get drunk in Europe for like 2 months and spend all my money.
Well, let's talk about it. So you don't drink anymore.
I don't.
You quit drinking.
Yeah.
When did you first start drinking? When was the first time you got drunk? I guess is the more direct question.
The first time I got drunk, it must have been in high school when I was like, I don't think I really drank until I was 18, maybe 17 or 18. So I was kind of late for drinking, but
Same.
I
Senior year?
senior year. But I loved smoking weed in high school.
Okay, when did you start doing that?
16.
Okay.
And
so
the
sophomore year?
reasoning, I think like early junior year probably. And the reason was because in Arizona you got to drive everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and it's easier to drive high than drunk. Even though I support neither, but it is a lot easier to drive high.
It was an interesting thing because I was never, and nowadays people will be in the comments and being like, you just had the wrong strain, blah, blah, blah. But I was never a weed guy. It made me paranoid and freak out, and I just didn't like weed. I was always I didn't drink until I was like 17, 18. But when I started drinking, I was like, oh, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Same thing in Florida, though. You got to drive everywhere.
Yeah.
And this is 20 years ago before Uber and Lyft and all that stuff. So it was, there's a lot of times I woke up on couches and I was just like, where am I? Because people were like, you're not driving. And then I also have 2 DUIs, which I'm not proud of. And we don't condone drinking and driving on the show, but it's just something that did happen.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, that was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
You wake up and your car's in like 3 parking spots in the apartment complex.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, I gotta stop doing this.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
so fucking stupid.
For sure.
So were you a popular kid in high school? Did you go to a big high school?
So, you told me you were going to ask me this question. I thought about it.
Oh, yeah. When we were on the drive, you're like, what do you like normally talk about?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I have 3 basic questions. We've already knocked off 2 of them. This was the 3rd.
Yeah. And I was thinking like I went to, I don't know if anyone was popular. Like I went to a really small, nerdy charter school.
Okay.
And so I think for my school, I was popular.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I was just kind of like friendly and friends with everyone. And I mean, my graduating class was 69 kids.
Yeah, so that's a different kind of animal because we talked about this, but like, and the listeners know, but this high school I went to had 3,600 kids.
Yeah.
And like my graduating class was 529. So there we had the whole Mean Girls setup. Like we had the plastics, we had the job, like we had the whole thing. And I kind of I was bullied a lot by upperclassmen, but I was kind of a chameleon where I could sit in with whatever group and just kind of adapt to whatever they were. Because I love Star Wars, but I also played football. I also weightlifted, but I also was raised by sisters, so I like could talk to the girl. Like, so I didn't have friends. I had a lot of acquaintances.
Sure, yeah.
Which is also why I didn't drink until my senior year because I didn't get invited to house parties or anything.
Yeah.
But the reason I always ask that question is because my sisters were incredibly popular. And so they were going to house parties when they were like freshmen and sophomores. So I'm always curious when someone, especially someone in our situation where we don't drink anymore, like when you got introduced to that. So how did you even get introduced to weed? If you're, it's a small school, you don't have a ton of people there. How did that even happen?
Yeah. So yeah, we're all like nerds and none of us really drank, I think, but then I think we all smoked weed as like a substitute. And one of my best friends in high school, he was like the first guy in our grade to smoke weed. Like he was like the kid, like, like his parents' situation not always the best and like
Gotta have a Neil Armstrong. Gotta have a first.
Yeah, I got weed. I can't even remember how he did it. And then I remember he smoked weed in his mom's apartment. And then he came back to school while we were getting out of class. And he's like, dude, I saw a polar bear in the shower. Like, this is crazy. I'm like, what?
This is amazing.
Yeah, that was at the end of sophomore year. And then I remember at the beginning of junior year, I started hanging out with him a lot. And then he was like, "Oh, we should smoke weed."
Did you, when you tried it, were you like, "Oh, this is great"?
I think the very first time, I didn't really feel anything.
Yeah.
Maybe like the second or third time I did because I was like, I really like, because you got to inhale, where you like put it in your mouth, then you got to suck it down again.
Yeah.
And then I got high, and then I really liked getting high, and that was cool. And then I liked getting high until I got arrested for weed.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Yeah, hell yeah. But it was like, I don't know. It was like white privilege suburbs arrested. Like my parents picked me up from the scene of the crime. Like it wasn't.
Were you scared?
Oh yeah, I was like crying.
Well, yeah, because that's the thing is I like these little details because I've been arrested a lot. And a lot of times on this show, people will just be like, yeah, and then I got arrested, like, my sophomore year in high school. So then anyway, I went to college and I was like, whoa. Like, in the moment, that must have been like the biggest deal of your life.
Oh, yeah.
So what, you're driving, you get pulled over, what happens?
No, I wasn't even driving. I was in a parking lot near like a middle school or something. I mean, it was like 9 p.m. So it was on like a Sunday or something. I think I had gotten off work. I worked as a lifeguard at the time. Went home, got my weed, drove to this like empty parking lot. Where it's like,
what do you tell your parents on your way out? Like, you get home from work, it's a Sunday night. Are you like, hey, I'm going to hang out with Jim? Or like, what do you?
Actually, I can't remember. I think I still just gotten off work. I can't remember.
Okay. Because I'm always curious about that, just as someone who got into a lot of trouble later in life.
Yeah.
Because like when I was in high school, I was straight edge, which probably explains why I got bullied so much. But I'm always curious is like, there's barriers to, you can't just show up at home and then be like, all right, I'm going back out.
Yeah,
well, I mean,
yeah.
You can, but.
Yeah, but it's weird.
Yeah.
I think I must have just gotten off work or something. I planned I was going to smoke weed, get donuts from like Shell or something, and then go and play
home.
video games.
Yeah.
Lock perfect night when you're 18.
Hey, I'm 37, and that sounds amazing.
Awesome. Yeah, it sounds great to me too. Anyway, it was this like really empty, dark parking lot where it was like next to the desert, right? So it's like from afar you can almost like not even tell there's a desert there.
Yeah.
Or a parking lot there. And then I'm smoking weed.
It's like when we have this in Florida, but it's the ocean. Like when you park near the ocean at night, if there's no moon, it just looks like empty void.
Yeah. Exact same thing.
Yeah.
So I was smoking in my car, and then I see a car pull into the parking lot, and then I'm like, oh, okay.
Lights
cool.
on, lights off in your car.
I'm trying to remember. I think car must have been off because I was pretty careful about stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And then
they saw the fucking lighter flicker.
The lighter flicker must have been, dude. Or they just know like that's a spot to check, you know? So they pulled into the parking lot and stopped right behind my car.
And when they pulled in, were you like, oh, that's the cops? Or were you like, that's weird?
I was like, that's weird. At first, I thought it was like
my instinct too. Like, what the fuck is this guy?
I thought it was like a couple trying to bang or something, you know? And then
what a turn that takes.
I know.
You're like, oh, look at these cute. Oh my God.
Yeah, to the worst moment of my life up until that point.
Yeah. Pulls right up behind you.
Pulls up right behind me, and everyone I knew kept their weed in a mason jar. So I put my weed in shoved the pipe and the weed in the mason jar. Can't like screw it on correctly. Trying to shove it back into my glove compartment. The glove compartment won't really shut, and the jar won't shut.
It's a comedy of errors.
Exactly. So I'm just like, I think I got it to close, but the jar was still open. Anyway, cop comes up to my window, taps on my window. I roll it down. And then he's like, oh, how you doing tonight? And I was like, good. And then he said something about like, oh, you playing Pokemon Go around here? Because that was like a thing. That was like when I was in high school, that was awesome. Pokemon Go was awesome because it gave you an excuse to be anywhere.
Yeah.
And my parents like would track my phone sometimes. So they'd be like, why are you in the middle of the desert? I'm like, Pokemon Go. When really I was like tripping balls on acid. I'm like, I see the Pikachus. They're everywhere.
This Me Too is important.
Yeah. Oh, is that a cobra?
Mewtwo. Not
Mewtwo.
That would have been weird.
I was like, is that an Ekans? And they're like, no, it's a rattlesnake.
So, good pull. So he was just like, call your parents?
He's like said the Pokemon Go thing, and I was like, haha, yeah. And then
because he gave you an out.
Right. And then I said yes. And then I remember he was like, I'm going to keep it real, man. Like, it smells like weed in here. Have you been smoking weed? And I thought if I just told him the truth, everything would just go away. It was because I was a naive white kid from the suburbs.
Well, and Tom Segura has that really funny joke about the First 48, the TV show.
Yeah.
He's like, every time people are on there, they're always like, I'll talk to the cops and get this straightened out. And he's like, you're going to do 25 to life. Like,
exactly.
Don't talk to the cops.
Do not talk to the cop. Do not tell them anything.
Never.
If you ever see a cop, don't tell them anything.
The only words you should say is, I want to speak to a lawyer.
Exactly. And that's what I should have said. But I said, yeah. I said, yeah, I've been smoking weed. Then he's like, can I get your license and registration? And my registration's in the fucking glove compartment where I just shoved the
Yep.
unscrewed jar of weed, so that all falls out of the fucking glove compartment. And then, but it's still a little dark, so I just kind of ignore it. And then I hand him my license and registration. And he's like, okay, you're gonna have to get out of the car. And then he searched my car, and he found the jar and the pipe and the weed. And then his partner comes up, because when they make an arrest, there has to be 2 cops or something like that. And they're kind of dicks, honestly, because at the time I was like applying to colleges, so I thought my whole life was over.
Yeah, of
I was
course.
like, this is fucked. Like,
It doesn't matter what situation you're in. The first time, in my experience, the first time anyone gets arrested, their first thought is, my life is over.
Yeah, exactly.
When you've had as much experience doing it as I have, you're kind of like, all right, guys, let's do the paperwork. Come on, let's get it going.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't want to be here all day.
Yeah. Come on. We got fucking places to be.
Yeah.
I can't get bailed out until I'm processed, so let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
But you're like, that's it.
That's it. His friend came, or the other cop came, and I remember for like a whole year, my entire wardrobe was just different, like, college shirts. Not because I necessarily even like wanted to go to them, just because I was like lazy, and if I like went to a college or something,
got a shirt,
I
you
just
had
got
the
a shirt.
shirt, yeah.
That was my entire wardrobe. And so I was wearing a UC Berkeley shirt.
Of course you were.
And then he was like, oh, smoking weed. I bet you would like to go to UC Berkeley.
Because it's legal in California at this point.
And it wasn't legal in Arizona.
Yeah.
Except medically. And, he was being like a white conservative prick about it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I bet you love fucking smoking weed over
Yeah,
there
but
in
you love
California.
California with
Yeah.
all those fucking hippies.
But then he was like, after this, you're never going to get in there. I'm like,
What a dickhead.
I know, dude. And I'm still high, and I'm crying, and I'm like, my life is over.
So then your parents came and picked you up?
Yeah, it was like a scene from a movie where like they had me called my dad. And I remember every time, I think I only had to do this maybe once or twice. I think it was maybe just this one time, but I would say to him, all right, Dad, I'm going to say, because he would get so mad.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a series of things, and I need you not to talk until I'm done telling you them.
That's a great way.
Yeah.
That is a great. That's like something out of a movie. Listen. I'm going to say a few things.
Yeah.
I need you to hear it all the way through before you react.
You're not going to be happy, but I need you to hear me before you say anything or get mad.
Was your dad the kind of dad, because this is how my dad kind of is, if like my dad can, he has a temper, I do too, but if it is a serious situation, would your dad take that to heart? Like if you're like, hey, I need you to listen to everything I say, would he listen? Or would he, like, immediately after your first sentence, he's like, what the shit, Jack? Or would he actually be like, okay, I'll hear you all the way through? I think sometimes they know that difference between like, yeah, I fucked up, and like, no, this is a big deal. I need you to be here right now.
Yeah. I think the disclaimer was needed, probably. Yeah. Or like, I mean, he would get it, and like, that like he needs to come and get me and stuff, but he's not gonna
Was
be
he
happy.
mad?
Oh yeah, dude. It's fucking crazy.
Well, I always think, because this is an interesting thing, all the times I got arrested, I never called my parents. That was never a call I made.
Oh yeah.
And that has a lot to do with, like, I left home at a young age, and I ended up going to college, and did all these things. But whenever I made a mistake, I was always very much of the ilk of like, well, I fucked up. And again, I didn't get arrested till later in life when I was living on my own and I didn't have to call anybody. My parents got divorced when I was 12, so sometimes you could get out of, I know my siblings could get out of getting in trouble by being like, oh, I'm going to stay at mom's, even though they weren't. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So there was like levels to it. But I never called them ever when I got in trouble.
Yeah.
So it is always, in the 292 episodes of the show I've done, it's always so interesting because most people I have on, it was I had to call my parents. And I'm always like, what was that like? Because the only time I talked to my dad when I was incarcerated was when I had already been booked, processed. I was living in South Florida, like doing my own thing. And then he was like, I just want to make sure you're okay. Mm-hmm. But it was never like, hey, I need your help to bail me. Like that was never on the table.
Yeah.
So I couldn't imagine your dad showing up being like, come on, son, let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Like just tires screeching in and be like, what the fucking fuck are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think he really let it fly until we got home.
Yeah.
But it was crazy because it was like a scene from a movie. Like, My parents pulled up, and my mom's just like uncontrollably crying, and my dad's just fucking pissed. And it starts raining right when they got there. And the guy starts to read me. He's like, you have to remain some distance. Like, I can't be next to my parents. So I'm here. Cop is here. Parents are here. They're just looking at me like dad pissed, mom crying. Starts to gently rain, and he's reading me my Miranda rights.
Goddamn right.
It was crazy.
So what ended up happening? Did you get community service, I assume?
Well, my parents had to spend what I imagine was like a few grand on a lawyer.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so that was a lot. And then I had to miss a day of school to see him and then go to court. And basically the agreement, what's fucked up is I was so close to turning 18, and when you get arrested at 17 and you're close to 18, the court will try to push your court date past your birthday so they can try you as an adult and get more money out of your case. So the lawyer was dope, though. He got it. My birthday's November 10th. The court date was November 3rd.
Expedited, yeah.
So, yeah, it was expedited. And then what did I have to do?
I'm assuming it's like a drug prevention thing that they would put you in. Because a first-time offense, especially for something like weed, especially at that age, a lot of times it's like, hey, let's not punish them. Let's teach them that this is not the right thing to do.
Yeah, I had to go to a MAD meeting, like a Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Oh, yeah, I've been to a few of those.
Yep. And I had to get drug tested 8 weeks in a row, once a week, like urine tested.
Yeah, that's the prevention thing that they do. Yeah.
And then there was another thing where I had to take like safe driving seminar thing online.
So you got like
computer.
a full driving while intoxicated arrest.
Yeah. It was like what they charged me with was just possession, I think, of paraphernalia. It wasn't even like weed possession.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I still had to do all these things, and then
still got into fucking Washington.
Still got into Washington.
What's
baby.
up?
What's up, baby?
Suck it.
Because it got expunged. I mean, I think I still would have gotten in anyway.
Yeah,
I don't think
you're
they.
A smart kid.
Yeah, they
Went
don't.
to a
Well, they
charter
don't.
School.
Yeah, I don't think they look at.
They don't. Your criminal
whether
record.
You get arrested or not.
That's a funny thing is like people are like, oh, with all your arrests, like how are you ever going to get a job again? It's like I work in restaurants and I do comedy.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking applying to be Secret Service. Like, what are you talking about? Nobody checks.
You don't have to work in the government.
Yeah, nobody's going to check. I wanted to ask you because you did send me a bunch of stories after the arrest.
Yeah.
And obviously you just took time away from drugs.
I stopped smoking weed for about a year until I got to college. I think I smoked weed like once to try to impress a girl I liked.
Okay.
And then, but my parents would randomly drug test me for the rest of that year.
There you go.
So I think on 420, I smoked weed to try to, because I thought a girl that I liked would think it was cool. And then like 2 days later, I get home from work and there's just like a urine test sitting on the counter. Well, again, I called my dad and I was like,
I'm going to need you to hear everything I'm going to say.
I'm going to fail this. And then he told me, like, if we drug test you one more time, and because, I mean, my parents paid for college and I'm super lucky that they did that.
Yeah.
But he was like, well, I'm not going to pay for your college if you keep, smoking weed, basically. So I think he had already told me that once when I was going to fail that test, but then he gave me another chance. And I told him I was going to and then I was like, I'm done. I'm not going to smoke weed. And then he gave me another chance. I didn't smoke weed until I then got to college. The threat was like, oh, I won't pay for your college, and then because you're gonna go to ASU, because I had like some sort of scholarship to ASU, but I wanted to go to Seattle because I wanted to see like a new part of the country.
So basically it was, hey, if you keep smoking weed, we're going to send you to the state party school.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're not going to be, you're staying in the fucking desert.
Yeah, exactly.
And you were like, all right, everybody relax.
Which doesn't make a lot of sense because there's so many drugs at ASU.
Oh, it was ranked like a top 5 party school like for decades.
Yeah, exactly.
So many pretty girls though.
I know.
And boys.
Lots of boys.
So you got into drinking in this time though?
No, I actually didn't really do anything until
and then freshman year of college.
Just nicotine, and then
do you go crazy your freshman year of college?
I smoked a lot of weed. I don't know if I went crazy, but smoked a lot of weed. Would drink probably every weekend. But it was like everyone was getting like uncontrollably drunk, so it's like it's really hard to tell in college who has a problem and who doesn't.
Yeah, trust me. For the first like 3 or 4 years, I was like, this guy's a crazy party animal. And then because I was in college for 6 years, 5 years. By like end of the 4th year, into the 5th year, everyone's like, oh, he might have a real problem.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it took 4 years for people to figure it out.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, the 7-Eleven gauntlet, did that happen in college?
Yeah, that was a fun story.
I assumed. Yeah. Tell me about that.
Okay, so that was a challenge me and my dumbass roommates made. That's really fun. You should try it. Patent pending. I think we did it our senior year during COVID.
Okay.
So like literally the only like fun things there were to do were just kind of like walk outside and try to drink. And it basically you go from 7-Eleven.
Are you living on campus?
I was living in a big house, not like a frat house. But
yeah.
The way the UW is set up is it used to be before the university was there, was a bunch of mansions in the 20s or just like big ass houses. And then the university moved there. All of a sudden, all these broke college kids have to move there.
Yeah.
So it's like a bunch of huge houses with like 9 to 12 people living in them.
So you're living in one of those.
I'm living in one of those with a bunch of friends. And it was a lot of fun. And
I miss it every single day.
I miss it every day. On 7-Eleven Day, July 11th of our senior year, it's beautiful Seattle summer, and we made up this challenge where you go to a 7-Eleven, you buy an alcoholic beverage, and then you walk to another 7-Eleven. Before you reach that one, you have to finish your first beverage.
This is a fantastic idea.
And you go to 11 7-Elevens.
That is great.
It was so much fun.
So it's 11 7-Elevens on 7-Eleven.
Yes.
The 7-Eleven gauntlet.
7-Eleven gauntlet.
Trademark, patent pending.
Patent pending trademark.
That's a great fucking idea.
I know, it was
Copyright.
awesome. Yeah, and it was like a beautiful day out.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun.
And you're like moving, so you're getting rid of the alcohol a little bit faster. And you're not buying
Exercising a
hard
little
liquor
bit.
at 7-Eleven. It's all beers and
Yeah,
beer.
it's like tall White Claws.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you make it? How many? Did you go to all 11?
I think
Some of them have got to be further away than
Yeah.
anticipate.
I think we must have gotten to 9 or 10 at least. I think we got to maybe 9 or 10, and then we ended up at this big lake, Green Lake in Seattle, and then we went swimming in the lake.
How did you get back?
It was like,
You
I
just
mean,
gotta
it was
walk,
all
right?
within walking distance.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was a long walk.
Well, that's what
but-
I'm saying is I'm thinking like one 7-Eleven might be like a quarter mile, then the next one's like a mile from there, then another mile, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, we're 12 miles from home.
We did it in kind of like a circle.
Okay, smart.
Yeah,
Wicked
we
smart.
planned it out.
God,
Yeah. If you did it in Manhattan, it'd be crazy. 'Cause
Yeah.
There's so many.
there's so many, but there's also a lot of obstacles in Manhattan.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
walking around on a beautiful day. You're dodging
Yeah.
people.
How-
Especially the 7-Elevens. They have like bouncers, but it's not like bouncers like you're thinking of, listeners. It's bouncers like an unhoused gentleman holding you up before you can go inside because he wants something from you.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm just going to go to the CVS, dude.
So you got to
Like,
tip that guy every time.
You do. It's like the bathroom attendant at a club.
Exactly, yeah.
I wanted to ask you about the frats.
Oh, yeah. So that...
I feel like these are going to go chronologically.
They might be. I can't remember exactly what I sent you.
I've got frats, roof spitting, vomit on jeans, and then the last one's going to be dragged out of the road.
I think dragged out of the road might be after the frats chronologically, but I put it as like the low
Oh, that's
point.
going to be the last one.
Yeah.
Because we talked about that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. So let's talk about the frats.
Okay.
So you're not in a frat. You're just living in a big house with 9 other dudes.
Yes. Well, 7 dudes and 2 women, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I went diversity. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I was in like
In Seattle.
I know. I was in a club where we would like teach ski lessons, and that would pay
What
for
the
our season pass.
Fuck is going on?
It was awesome, but it had
Can
men
you
in
ski?
I'm really good at skiing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've been pretty humble about everything thus far, but now you're dying on this hill.
I'm pretty good. Yeah.
I'm good.
Hey, at least in college, I was. Well, we were like, because skiing's expensive.
Yeah.
So what we would do is like it was just a group of students who'd go up to like this kind of like small ski mountain near Seattle. Shout out Snoqualmie. And shout out. And we would teach ski lessons, and then with that money from our revenue, we would each get a season pass
Okay.
and stuff. So that'd be cool. So anyway, I'd live with people I met from that club.
Yeah.
And that's why I was men and women. But in college...
Women can't ski as good as men.
They have
Kidding,
a
just
lower
trying to-
center of gravity. They're
trying
actually
to ruffle some feathers. I'm obviously comedic.
How many women listen to this podcast?
All right, moving on.
But I don't know. I just had this like chip on my shoulder where I like absolutely hated frat. Well, I still do, but like frat culture and sorority culture and stuff.
I actually, as much of a frat dude and douche as I look, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
Like when I played college football, everyone's like, "Are you going to join a frat?" It's like, no, I play college football. Like, what do you? No, I'm not a fucking loser.
Yeah.
I have friends. They're called teammates.
Right. I don't have to pay for them
Yeah.
and then live with them. But I mean, the club I was in, it was like, I don't know, kind of similar to a frat because we all encouraged drinking and stuff like that.
I mean, so did we. But you were you're athletes. You're in a ski club.
Yeah, we were athletes.
You're an athlete.
Yeah, we would also drink a lot.
So did we.
But I had this like chip on my shoulder where I like absolutely hated the frat and sorority system. So I remember there was a couple instances where I got really drunk and fucked with them. Like I remember one Halloween, I think it was my sophomore or junior year. I think it was junior. I dressed as Hunter S. Thompson. I read Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas once, and I was like, "That's awesome.
This is how you're supposed to live your life."
Drug use is actually poetic. Yeah, it's actually what good writers do.
Yep. Ernest Hemingway with drinking.
Exactly. So I just it was just an excuse to like chain smoke, basically. And I got really drunk.
You guys don't understand. I'm an artist.
I'm a fucking art. Exactly.
Yeah, I know. I've been there.
Yeah, you've been there. And me and my friend were walking home, and we were like, I don't know, we didn't know what we wanted to do. We just wanted to do a prank or something on the frats. So we were just like knocked.
Just want to break shit.
Yeah, we just knocked on a bunch of doors of the frats, and we're like, hey, we know John. We just said a white name. Hey, we know John. Can we come in? And then they're like, who the fuck are you?
Halloween, they're probably all having big parties.
Yeah, but they still like had like a door.
Yeah,
guy.
no, that's what I
yeah.
mean. Is be like, hey, John told us to come, and they're like, yeah, fucking come on in.
Yeah, you would think, but yeah, they didn't let us in, so we just kept trying back doors until we found one. And I remember like so vividly, me and my friend opened the back door, and it was like the one light was shining perfectly on the fire alarm. And then me and my friend just looked at each other and we're like, all right. And then we walked up and I pulled it. And then I ran, and I remember hopping this chain link fence that was on their backyard. And I remember putting my leg over the chain link fence, and then boom, I wake up on my couch.
Oh, no.
Blackout, wake up on my couch. I'm like, I guess I got home.
What did your friend be like, I had to drag you fucking home? Or you just blacked out, but you were still functioning?
I think I was still functioning, yeah.
That is interesting how because I've had a couple brownouts where it's like, I remember I stole a car one time, and I've told the story before, but it was a while ago. But I remember being at my buddy's apartment drinking. I remember coming out of it at the Razzle's nightclub in Daytona. Mm-hmm. I remember coming out of it and then black, and then I remember coming out of it again back at my friend's apartment. And then coming out of it again, being pulled over by a cop in his car that I had stolen.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
And because it had run out of gas, so I pulled over. The cop was somebody I played high school football with who's no longer in law enforcement. But I remember he walked up and he was like, Tassif? And I was like, Schwartzy? And he's like, the fuck are you doing? And I was like, honestly, I have no idea. I don't even know.
That's great. Did he let you go?
Whose car is this? And I was like, I think it's my friend's. I think I borrowed it. I ran out of gas, so I just pulled over. And yeah, he took me back to where I was staying.
Wow.
But the next day it was a disaster because I wake up not knowing what the fuck happened, just remembering something about a car, 90 text messages, 13 missed calls, and I was like, yeah, it was out of gas. That's what happened. And you know what I mean? So it's just like you wake up on the couch and you're like, I guess it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like I woke up and I was like, literally never heard anything about it again. I have no idea what happened. I have no idea if if they had to evacuate or whatever. Didn't hear anything about it again. Yeah. It's almost like it didn't happen, you know? It's crazy.
Well, if you were at UW between, what was it, 2019 and 2022.
Yeah.
Let us know. I want to jump. We're going to have you back on the podcast, but we spent a long time talking about your comedy career because you're a fucking monster. What happened with the vomit?
Oh, that was just like a memory of, well, I guess an absence of a memory. A blackout that I remember waking up from
In college, obviously.
This was, I think, like a year after college,
Okay.
maybe.
So this is in New York.
I think I was in New York visiting my friends during New Year's.
Oh, yeah, because you didn't move here until...
No, I had already moved here, but I was visiting my friends in Los Angeles.
Okay, got it.
My friends from high school who drink a lot. And, like, yeah, I just drank so much with them, like 2 nights in a row, that both mornings after I woke up with vomit on my jeans.
Same jeans?
I brought 2 pairs of pants.
And you vomited on both.
I vomited on both, and nothing is more humbling than doing laundry after the second morning in your underwear because you have no pants left.
That's hilarious.
And their like washing machine was like outside.
How
their
are you
hallway.
vomiting on your pants?
I don't know. I think I was just passed out like this.
And just threw up?
Yeah.
Dude, that's between peeing on things, peeing on in my bed. But did you ever do the thing where you woke up and you're like, this is the bathroom, and then you wake up the next day and you're like, oh, I peed all over my dresser?
I've only have one peeing story.
Okay.
It's actually kind of funny now that I remember it.
Here we go.
Okay, so in that ski club, what we would do every season is with the funds we got from teaching lessons, we would rent a cabin on Airbnb to stay in Saturday nights during the winter season.
To ski.
So we would like drive up Saturday morning or sometimes Friday, stay in this cabin Saturday night, throw a party. Everyone drives home Sunday.
Yeah.
And one year there was a cabin that had like multiple levels, 3 levels. There was like a little loft area up top with a big bed. And it was a party that I threw because I was the party. It was the position was called party god, with the party organizer. So I was party god one year.
Look at that. We
Yeah.
just got the name of the episode.
Party god. That's me. Ex-party god.
Ex-party god. There it is.
Yeah. But
It's a creative process, folks. You wouldn't understand.
it's an iterative process. And on the top floor, so the theme of the party was 8th grade dance or middle school dance.
Okay.
It was honestly super fun party.
Yeah.
There's like maybe 8 people in the party who are designated hall monitors.
That's fun.
Or like chaperones, basically.
Yeah.
And if they see you drinking alcohol, they get to confiscate it and drink it themselves.
Okay.
And so everyone is like sneaking.
That's a great idea. You are a
Yeah.
fucking smart guy, dude.
I think someone gave it to me, honestly, but I re-implemented it.
That's a great idea.
It was super fun.
Because it makes it more fun. Like,
Yeah.
ooh.
Like, oh, I'm not supposed to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
So
hiding flasks and like minis in places and stuff.
people, like a dude put a plastic 5th of vodka in a sock and then hid it in his pants,
That's-
like on his crotch.
Yeah.
And then people are like hiding in the bathroom in the shower, like drinking vodka and stuff. And hard A, and it was a lot of fun. But then I blacked out so hard from just drinking hard alcohol because that's the easiest to conceal.
To hide, yeah.
So on the top floor, someone had put me to bed, and then apparently I woke up, and in the corner of the room I started peeing. But now the floorboards are not exactly completely together, right?
Yep.
So they're a little apart. And the part where I peed happened to be where the second floor bathroom was. So this poor girl is trying to pee on the toilet, and then she sees some mysterious liquid drop down near her head. And that was my piss.
God. So let's talk about it. You don't drink anymore.
I don't drink anymore.
What happened with the road thing? Because this was actually kind of a sadder story, but it was one of these things that you kind of realized, like, maybe something's gone terribly awry.
Yeah, but it wasn't even like I kept drinking for like 2 or 3 years after that.
But what happened? Because this was when you told me this story, this was very interesting to me. But let the listeners know what happened.
Oh, in college, I was camping with some friends. Washington, very beautiful, good for camping. Went to a campground. There was a nice place to lay down, like a road in the middle of the forest near where we were camping, that we laid down one night to go watch the stars. We did that one night, had a pleasant time. Night 2, I get absolutely blackout drunk. We go to do it again, lay down in the middle of the road, look up at the stars. I'm like passed out in the road. Car starts coming. My friend's like, Jack, come on, you gotta go. There's a car coming. And I'm just unresponsive. Completely. He ends up dragging me out of the road, like picking me up. I don't know how he does it, but I just wake up and my friend is like, we wake up in the tent, and I'm like the next morning, and he's like, yeah, you almost died last night. I had to drag you out of the road, and I was like, oh, that's crazy. What's for breakfast?
Well, what led? Because that's a serious, like, we were talking about this in the car about all the times we almost died or should have died.
Yeah.
And had your friend not been there, or had your friend been so fucked up that he wasn't able to get you out, you're in the middle of the woods at the middle of the night. Like, that car sees you way too late.
Yeah.
And it's like a terrible. So I just want the listeners to know, like, when you say you quit drinking, it wasn't like, oh yeah, one time my parents had to get called because I got caught with weed. Like, you started to drink like a lot. Like a lot.
Like a lot.
So what happened to, and this is where I wanted to end on, what happened to where you were like, all right, I got to stop doing this? And just for context, so you don't feel like this is a huge burden of like, you have to come up with a crazy story. I have had lots of people on who are now sober or who just don't drink. And sometimes it's as easy as like, I started losing days. Like, I'd be hungover so bad for an entire day, and then the next day I'd still be hungover, and then next thing you know, I drink on a Friday. Now it's Tuesday, and I still feel like shit, so I just had to stop. And then I've had people like me where it's like, oh, I woke up in a hospital being told I should be dead, and I was like, oh, this has become a problem.
Yeah.
So for you, what was it to where you're like, yeah, I just can't do this anymore?
It was a mix of both of those.
Okay.
Yeah. So at first, I would take breaks. I think maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I want to say 2023, maybe 2024, I took a break for about 7 months. I think because I had a bad blackout, and I was like, I hate doing that. I'm going to take a break. So I took a break for like 7 months, and that was good. And then I think for the next year or two, I would only drink maybe like 5 times a year.
Yeah. So
But
like
then-
this special occasion, kind of like if this was a big thing that was happening, okay, I'll come out.
Yeah, but
come out of the bullpen.
Yeah, but it would never be like, oh, special occasion, I'm going to have 2 glasses of champagne. It's like, I haven't drank all year. I'm going to drink all the beers right now.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like, I think.
Well, that's normally, just real quick, for anyone who ever puts like a limiter on, that's normally how it goes.
Yeah.
It's not like. If we could do 2 glasses of champagne at a function,
would be
we wouldn't
awesome.
have to put a limiter on it.
Yeah.
So normally it's like, yeah, I would only drink for special occasions. It's normally, if that is the case, it's, so I got fucking annihilated for my friend's wedding.
I ruined the special occasion. Yeah, exactly. I think, so I quit drinking last year. I think the year before that, I maybe drank 3 or 4 times, something like that. But one of those times I'd gotten blackout drunk. And I was like, I never want to do that. If I black out one more time, I'm quitting forever. Last year, I blacked out. So
Is this at like a party, or is this at like a?
It was. You know, it's funny. It was at the show, but it was at a.
It was at a show.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But I actually had a great set. I didn't black out on stage. The show was.
What? I'm just so curious. Why were you drinking before you went up? Like, what happened to where you're like, this is one of the nights?
The point of the show is called Drunk TED Talks.
Okay.
The point was to get drunk and then give a TED Talk. So I got there an hour before the show, Blinky's in Williamsburg.
Shout out Blinky.
I haven't been back because I'm too scared.
God knows. You walk in and they're like, that's the guy.
It's the fault. They got my mugshot on the wall.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Someone peeing in the corner.
He pulled the fire alarm. Get him.
Get him. And
I guess this is my thing, pulling the fire alarm, like as you're running out.
Yeah, I'm the fire alarm guy. Anyway, I got there an hour before the show started, hadn't drank at all. So then I was like, well, I guess I got to get drunk. And then I had 2 beers and 2 shots within like an hour. And I'm like, that'll do it. And then I gave a TED Talk. It's pretty good. Got a good reception, got some laughs. People told me I had a good set. And one of my friends had come for the show, so it was like kind of fun before the show, getting drunk with him. But then he left soon after my set. So, and I didn't know really anyone there. It was like the person whose show it is was like a girl I went on a date with like 3 years prior, and like there was nothing. I kind of went and be like, oh, maybe she'd like me now. And then she
I'm going to instill confidence in everyone in this room. Watch how drunk I get.
Exactly. I think like while I was super drunk, like 8 drinks in, I asked her, I was like, so you didn't want to go on another date or something? She's like, no.
Yeah, I could imagine. And then you woke up the next day and you're like, I did it again. I'm not doing it anymore.
Well, I didn't know. So I didn't know anyone else at the show. And so I really had no reason to be there, kind of. But I was just still hanging out with people getting drunk. And then I did cocaine with some people from the show in the bathroom, which I had done. I've done that many times before, but I told myself I didn't want to do it that night because literally the night previous, my roommate had done that, and then he had felt like shit all day. And I had felt all high and mighty, like, oh, yeah, I didn't do cocaine last night. I feel great. And then I fucking
I'm going
did
to the
it.
gym.
Yeah, exactly. And I did it that night. And then so I have very hazy memory of being at a second bar. And then, but really, I blacked out, I think, for maybe like 3-4 hours. Came to time travel, waiting for the subway, but not at a station that makes sense. You know,
yeah,
and I just would think about like maybe what if I had fallen in or something.
Yeah, that's immediately why I had that reaction, was because I've never been drunk in New York City, but I can only imagine the antics that I pulled when I was drinking if I were to be drunk here. All the fights that I would get into, all the subways I'd be throwing up on or peeing.
It's dangerous because you don't have to drive anywhere,
yeah,
and you're just so readily accessible to people.
Yeah, we're just out there.
You're just out there, and. Came to waiting for the subway, but not at like a station that made sense for the bar I had been at. And I took the subway to home and then bought a sandwich, ate it at 6 a.m. and then passed out, woke up, had huge bruises on my side that I, to this day, have no idea how it got there. My best guess is some people have suggested I fell while hopping the turnstile and then somehow
that would make sense, yeah.
Bruise another, but they kind of honestly looked like drag marks. So my other idea is that I'd fallen in the street and someone was nice enough to drag me out of the street.
Again.
Crazy, I know.
Twice you've been dragged out of the street.
I've been twice. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah, I pull fire alarms. I get dragged out of streets.
Party god.
Dude, we got to have you back on because I know you got a lot more stories. We have a couple that we didn't even get to.
Yeah.
But we hit the hour. Plug everything one more time. Let everybody know where they can find you.
My name is Jack. My Instagram is Jack Barth. And I have a Substack for the 8 people who read in the world. Jack Barth Publishing Company.
Dude, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man.
That was great.
Oh, that was awkward. Okay.
That's
Sorry,
fine.
I bumped your plant.
It's fake.
Sick. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. At Brennan T Comedy on all social media, BrennanTComedy.com. May 17th, we're recording the 1-hour special at Grove 34. 7 p.m., 9 p.m. The 7 p.m. is almost sold out. So get your tickets, grove34.com, BrennanTComedy.com/new-events. And we'll talk to y'all next week.
Woo!
Boom. Dude, that was awesome.
That was very fun. Thanks for having me.